Welcome to the Jazz Kettle. I'm your host, Kevin Towns. I've been a chef for over 20 years, but a music lover my whole life. My career has taken me to many places, all over the globe and all over this country. And I have been delighted to find that all of these places have two of my favorite things in common. They have their own food and their own music. We're here to discover what makes that such an intoxicating combination. Thanks for coming. It's time to burn. Welcome back to the show. It's February, around the world and all over the country. So that means it's winter. But there's one place in the world where it's steaming hot. That's Brazil. And February means carnival. So that makes it a perfect destination for the Jazz Kettle. Let's take a look. Carnival celebration, you need to have caipirinhas. Caipirinhas is like the national drink of Brazil. It takes 3 simple ingredients. Let's make one. You need lime. Just going to cut these up into rectangles. Put those in our glass. 2 teaspoons of sugar. And then you're going to do the mallet. I have one of these just in case something goes wrong. Now the beautiful song that we have accompanying us here is Antonio Carlos Jobim and Stan Getz, The Girl from Ipanema. One of my favorite songs, one of my grandfather's songs that used to play on Saturday afternoon when I'd come to visit him and my grandmother. We add our ice. Cachaça. Salute. Welcome to the Jazz Kettle Brazilian Party. Brazil's cultural heritage shows up in every part of its music and its food. You can't have a Brazilian party, a carnival party, without having the national dish of Brazil, feijoada. Let's take a look at what it takes to make a great feijoada. It's basically a black bean stew. The basic elements are black beans. It's served with rice. Today we're going to be using jasmine rice. It uses a couple of different types of meat. We're going to use pork shoulder, ham hocks, pork tenderloin, beef tenderloin, and chorizo. The basic spice ingredients we're going to use today, I'm going to use a little bit of my own interpretation of this. I'm going to use some Cajun seasoning to season the meats. We have cumin, coriander, and red pepper, and garlic. Let's start to burn. Welcome back. It's time for the main event of our carnival party at the Jazz Kettle. It's time to put together the feijoada. This is good. First thing we're going to do is we're going to season our meat. I have some onions already cut up, some garlic. We're going to take our meat, We're going to add our ham hocks to our black beans. Get those going. I've already cooked the ham hocks some, so they're getting tender, and they'll only flavor the beans more with the smoky flavor of the ham hocks. We're going to add our pork and our beef together. We're going to add this just about a tablespoon and a half of each of the seasoning. We're going to add a little bit of oil to this. Add the seasoning to the meat. You start to cook it just a little bit already. You can start to smell the essence of it. While that's going, get some oil. A little bit of wine won't hurt anything. Sweat our onions. Add our garlic. Nice hot pan. Get that going. I like a nice hot pan with all the kids. My brother used to call me Sky High Fire when I was about 10 years old. I'd be cooking in the kitchen and smoking out the family, burning out dishes. I still like to cook with a high fire as a chef. I kept the nickname. We're going to add these to our beans. This system with adding and layering the flavors to such a flavorful dish. Very festive. So add some more oil. I like to use the same pan, keeping the heat. We're going to add all of our meat elements. It's my understanding that this dish derived from slave trade. When they would cut up the animals and they would just leave the leftover scraps for the slaves, and then they would make this dish out of it. But this is a little bit of upgrade, the levels of meat that we have. We're using a pork tenderloin, a beef tenderloin. Beans are getting to really look good. Meat is going. That's fantastic. Now I'm going to cut up my chorizo. I'm going to add it. I don't need to cook this chorizo. It's already cooked. Some people might just put a little bit of fire under it, but I'm going to choose not to do that today for my recipe. It's interesting that chorizo is also used in gumbo in New Orleans, given that they have very similar storylines, New Orleans and Brazil. They both had slave trade. They both have been influenced by different other cultures. The cuisine in New Orleans is very influenced by the French and the Cajun. We're going to add this to our beans. And in Brazil, influence of the indigenous people at the time, which are Indians, American Indians, South American Indians, that is, and then the influences of Africa, the slave trade, and then European influences, which being they speak Portuguese, and that colonial influence on the culture. So everything about it is multicultural, which is right up my alley because it means it has a lot of flavor and texture to the culture. And that's looking absolutely beautiful. Now let's turn our attention to the music. The music that's been accompanying us today was brought to me by a lovely, very talented DJ, DJ Vivo, who has a podcast on the internet and let me be a part of the music. It's very influenced with bossa nova, African beats, a little bit of house. I really enjoyed it, so I'm happy to him. Good luck to you, Vivo. But our meat is almost done. We don't need to cook it all the way through because there's going to be a lot of residual heat. Oh, that's looking spectacular. We're going to add that to our beans. Now this is beginning to look like a party. A lot of heat in here, so you can see why you won't need to cook that meat all the way through because you don't want to overcook it. You just want to just simmer in and it's become really a stew when it's all said and done. Perfect. We're going to just let this cook for just about an hour or so, and we're going to just listen to a little more music. Have another caprina. Oh my goodness, getting better. And then we're just going to do a little samba. We're ready. Let's take a look at our fish water. Looks absolutely great. That's ready. This is fantastic. Get ready to plate this. We have our rice. You see it at the top of the show that we're going to use jasmine rice. This turned out very good. Very flaky. I like the nutty taste of jasmine rice. Now the pork shoulder has broken down now and has gotten into it and added a very nice smoky flavor throughout the beans. Let's plate this. Oh man. No wonder this is the signature dish of the country. Yeah, that's good. This is traditionally garnished with oranges. So I'm going to add those here. Then a little bit of cilantro. And there we have it. Feijoada. Salute. I want to thank the Brazilian Talent for having and hosting our carnival party, our samba party here in Fort Lauderdale. Just remember, there's music to be heard, food to be eaten. Jazz Kid will be there. Thanks for coming.